How can you live a longer, healthier life? And today we have a fantastic speaker who is going to be talking to us in a minute. But first off, we want to look at matters health. How can you be able to live a longer, healthier life? And today we are dealing with a particularly challenging topic. It's a disease that has affected many people in Kenya today and is still affecting quite a number of people. And I know many people on this call have been affected by either directly or indirectly by this disease, and it is cancer. Cancer has really proved to be a very tough disease to deal with, and today we are going to tackle it and see how can we prevent ourselves from getting cancer. And more importantly, how can we manage it? How can we fight it? And how can we continue to live this life in spite of cancer being around us? So without further ado, I'm going to get into it. I just want to appreciate everybody who is on the call. Welcome to today's session. And I'm excited to be here. My name is Fred Gichuki. Fred is an entrepreneur with Neolife International. I joined Neolife for money, but I found health. I came in because somebody told me there's a way of making some extra money, and I had big dreams. I wanted to make money. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to retire young and rich. And I had all these big dreams. I wanted a big car. And someone found me working in the hotel at a reception, and he told me, Fred, there's something you can do in your free time which can give you an extra income. I was working 18 hours a day, but I plunged in, I got started into the business. And I always say I wanted money, but my first benefit was the health of my parents, because my parents were suffering. My dad had ulcers, my mom had high blood pressure. Those issues were sorted by the products of Neolife, and that gave me the introduction to the wellness part of it. And I got so excited about that. I went out, built a huge business, started making some money, which grew over time. In about 7 months, I was earning over 30K. Became a world team member a few years down the road. And I started traveling the world. I retired by the age of 30, and that is very, very exciting. So I've been able to accomplish quite a number of dreams with Neolife, starting with the health of my parents. I've been able to travel to so many destinations, more than 20 countries to be precise. I've been able to purchase so many things and empower so many people to live an exceptional lifestyle. But I can tell you, of all the things I've done in Neolife, the fact that I've been able to touch people's lives in terms of health excites me the most, because when you talk to somebody, they start using our products and they were unwell, and then they come up with a testimony of the way their health has improved. Let me tell you, there's nothing that surpasses any kind of income you can earn from Neolife. So without further ado, I want to get into health. Let's look at cancer. Let's look at how can we be able to prevent ourselves from getting cancer, and how can you manage it in case it's already there? And the topic of today. And by definition, what is cancer? It's cells, a large group of diseases. There are about 200 different cancers which are characterized by uncontrolled growth and spread of abnormal cells. And that is cancer, loosely defined. Now, according to the American Cancer Society, cancer is just what I've said. It's a growth that is characterized by uncontrolled growth and spread of cells. Consists of more than 100 diseases. It can arise in many sites of your body and behave differently depending on its organ of origin. Adjacent tissue or spread to distant parts of the body. The mass of cancer cells eventually become large enough to produce lumps, masses, or tumors that can be detected. Now, cancer is one of the most common diseases of the developed world. 1 in 4 deaths are due to cancer. 1 in 17 deaths are due to lung cancer. Lung cancer is the most common cancer in men. Breast cancer is the most common cancer in women, and we're going to look at why that is. We've already said that. So let's look at a few of the cancers that affect our bodies. We've talked about breast cancer, lung cancer, stomach cancer, ovarian cancer, bone cancer, brain cancer, laryngeal cancer, prostate cancer, testicular cancer, and lymphoma. Okay. Now, what are some of the things that increase your risk of getting cancer? I think that's very, very important so that we can know how can we avoid it by avoiding the causative factors. The first thing is tobacco. And we all know that with tobacco, you can either be a primary user or a secondary user. So you have to avoid both. Alcohol, obesity, radiation, age, chemicals. Chemicals are notorious, especially for those in very industrialized cities and also in the farming areas. You'll find that chemicals can actually have a negative effect on your life. I remember doing a meeting in Kinangop where they grow a lot of cabbages, and when I shared about the effect of chemicals used in the farm and the prevalence of cancer, a lady stood up and said, you know, my neighbors, 4 of them have breast cancer. On the left, on the right, all over, surrounding me, 4 people in one village had developed cancer of the breast. And she used to wonder what could be the reason. And then could have actually caused this kind of scenario. Diet plays a can also be a contributory factor. There we have it in pictures. We've talked about alcohol, we've talked about smoking, obesity, sedentary lifestyle. Really just spending your time seated on your couch and watching television, enjoying yourself, can actually contribute to cancer. Poor diet, excessive sun exposure, and unprotected sex. There are some cancers that are caused by unprotected sex, and we are talking about things like cervical cancer, we are talking about prostate cancer. These are some of the cancers that can be caused by unprotected sex. Okay. Now, 5.2% of all cancers are associated to poor diet. That's very, very important. Now, let's look at some tips on how you can prevent cancer. Okay. Now, if you're not smoking, don't start. If you're smoking, stop it. Smoking definitely plays a very big role in terms of the issue of cancer. The other thing is exercise. You need to start an exercise actually helps the fluids to flow in your body. When the fluids flow in your body, then what happens is that when the fluids are flowing, then the chemicals and the toxins are coming out. Your chances of getting cancer are slimmer. Then moderate alcohol consumption. Don't overdrink. Know your family history. If your family has a preponderance of a certain cancer, then you need to take steps to mitigate against it. Then wear sunscreen. Don't go into the sun unprotected because you can get skin cancer. Get immunized, especially for the sexually transmitted cancers. Practice safe sex. Get regular checkups. Limit consumption of red meat. Red meat has been notorious. When you eat too much red meat, it has so many side effects. It has a lot of antibiotics in it, and that can actually make you get cancer. So limit the amount of red meat that you are consuming. Now, maintain a healthy weight. We've looked at it and seen that obesity is one of the reasons why you can actually be able to develop cancer. So these are some 10 ways to ensure that you prevent yourself from getting cancer. Now, natural solutions for healthy living. We look at detoxifying our bodies. When you detoxify your body, it means you're removing toxins from your body. Some of the toxins we are exposed to are things like chlorine from the water we drink, carbon monoxide from the car fumes and factories and all that, just to mention a few. And you need to regularly detoxify your from this at least once in 6 months, so that when you remove the toxins, then you actually stand a lesser chance of getting cancer. Have a healthy diet. We are going to talk about that. Restful sleep, exercise, and manage your stress. Very, very important. Reduce or quit smoking or taking alcohol. Use natural nutritional supplements and herbs, and we will talk about that just now. Okay, so one of the things that we need to do to actually fight against cancer is through awareness. And by awareness, we are talking about being aware of the prevalence of cancers, what causes cancer, and more importantly, how can you prevent yourself or detect cancer very early. And we talk about PSI tests for men. We talk about regular checkups to ensure that you don't find yourself already in stage 4 of cancer by the first diagnosis. So you need to do regular checkups to ensure that you don't have cancer in your body. Don't just sit pretty and assume that you can never get it. You have to be aware of what cancer is and how you can prevent yourself from getting cancer. Then the other important thing is eat to beat cancer. You should actually be eating foods that prevent you from getting cancer. And you're going to look at some of those foods. When you look at that screen, I'm sure you're able to identify a few types of food: broccoli, salmon, fish. You can see some berries there. You can see some red, some purple, some green, the different colors that actually will prevent you from getting cancer. Then you look at the solution that is provided by our company as far as preventing ourselves from getting cancer. And we talk about, you can't talk about Neolife without talking about our founder, Jerry Brasfield, whose dream and vision it was that actually started this whole journey. And Jerry had asthma. He used the Neolife products. They worked for him. And he got excited about it. And he said, why can't I develop a business that can touch other people's lives? Because my life has been changed by these products. And that's how he partnered with Neolife and started building a business. Later in life, he partnered with Dr. Atherfast. Incidentally, Dr. Atherfast is the man who invented oral chemotherapy for the treatment of cancer. And he's a Nobel Prize winner, or rather he was, because he's late. And he decided, instead of waiting for people to fall sick and then giving them medicine, why can't he partner with a company that produces natural and organic food products that will prevent people from getting cancer in the first place? And that's how he partnered with Neolife. And like the story says, the rest is history. They developed products together. He formulated the Scientific Advisory Board, and the Scientific Advisory Board developed products from the food that you are supposed to be eating, such that when you take these products, they prevent your body from getting cancer. And if you already have cancer, they can hold that cancer, prevent it from spreading, and they can actually take it to remission. And I've seen it happen to several of my friends. So let's first look at the diet. How should we be eating? Now, if you look at those two pyramids, there's a pyramid on my right, which could be your left, where it talks about you need to exercise a lot, you need to eat a lot of whole grains, a lot of fruits and vegetables, little proteins, and little fats and sugars. This is the way we are supposed to be eating according to World Health Organization. Especially the part of fruits and vegetables. You're supposed to be taking 9 different types of fruits and vegetables. And the way you know they are different is that they have different colors. And that's on a daily basis, which we don't do. you're supposed to be taking a lot of whole grains. In fact, they say more than 50% of your plate should be whole grain. And the way you know it's whole grain, it's brown, it's not white. Then minimize on the red meat. In fact, they say a quarter kilo should be taken by 12 men, and that is only 3 times a week. Then minimize on the fats and sugars. So a teaspoon of fat and a teaspoon of sugar is enough for the day. But that's not exactly how we eat. We eat the way on the typical lifestyle pyramid, where everything is upside down. We take a lot of fats and sugars. Sugar is terrible. Sugar festers the growth of cancer cells. Sugar festers the growth of bacteria in your body. So when you're taking too much sugar, then you're actually putting yourself at a risk of getting cancer. We eat too much proteins. We eat meat, especially we talk about the red meat, which is full of antibiotics. We talk about the broiler chicken, which we eat a lot, which is full of hormones. And those hormones go to your body and they start growing cancer cells in your body. We all have cancer cells, but your level of immunity is a defense that actually protects you from this. Now, when you take things which are very high in hormones, like broiler chicken, then you trigger those cancer cells and they start growing, and that can give you problems. Fruits and vegetables, we don't eat enough. Then whole grains, we only eat when we can't avoid. And therein develops a gap. And Neolife has actually come to fill that gap between what you're supposed to be eating and what you are eating. And one such product that sorts out that gap is called ProVitality Plus. And ProVitality Plus has the following components. The first one is threonine. What is threonine made of? Threonine is made from the whole grains we are talking about. You're talking about the fat that you find in the germ of wheat, rice, and soya. These oils are taken and they are put in a capsule. The capsule is a gelatin capsule, so it's a protein which is utilized by your body. And take threonine, what it does is that it reverses the degeneration of the cells. You know, cancer, we mentioned earlier, are abnormal cells that multiply. So when you take threonine, sorts out your cells. It enables nutrients to get in, waste to go out. It ensures that your cell membrane is soft and permeable, and the cell is doing its job of metabolism. So now, if you're not taking threonine, the cell is like the cell on the left, on my left, and the cell membrane is so tough, nutrients are not able to get in, toxins accumulate, and this cell starts subdividing. And if you're not lucky, these ones can become the abnormal cells you're talking about. So sort out your cells. It's all at cellular level. So get some threonine and start taking some threonine. And you'll find that not only will your cells be functioning well, your energy levels will go up. You'll be so fired up. Your day will be longer, basically. You will not be as tired as you are before. And that's why we say threonine will feed the cells. It brings energy. It increases cellular energy production, optimizes membrane function, and also balances your hormones. So get some threonine ASAP into your system. And this is a product that will prevent you from so many problems. I remember a case that you were given by Dr. Fatma Abdallah of a lady that had stomach cancer. And I think the husband had stomach cancer. And it was stage 4. And this lady decided to sort it out. She said she was going to tackle it. And she started giving the husband 2 threonine per hour. And the cancer disappeared from the stomach within a month down the line. The power of threonine, it sorts out the cells in a very, very big way. The second product that is so critical, again, at cellular level, is called CoQ10. CoQ10. What does CoQ10 do? Now, whereas threonine sorts out the cell membrane, CoQ10 goes into the cell, into the mitochondria, into the engine of the cell, and it sorts out the engine of the cell. And what does that do for the body? It promotes cellular energy production, boosts overall energy and stamina, supports cardiovascular health, improves muscle energy, it supports cognitive health. In a nutshell, CoQ10 sorts out the cell's mitochondria. So whereas we are saying that cancer damages cells, and aids the production of abnormal cells. For your cells to be normal again, you need some CoQ10 so that now we fix the mitochondria of the cell. The tRNA has fixed the cell membrane. Then the CoQ10 fixes the mitochondria of the cell. As you can see now, that abnormal cells will be turned from an abnormal, or will be prevented from becoming an abnormal cells, and it becomes a normal cell. So CoQ10 is important, and it sorts you out. Now, CoQ10 helps the proper function of all internal organs. We are talking about your vision, your kidney, your lungs, your heart, your reproductive organs. This is a product that you should give for all conditions. Anybody suffering from anything in their body should actually use some CoQ10. Or if you want to function at peak levels, you should be taking some CoQ10. The other product that is important, and this one is a big one, it's called carotenoid complex. Now, carotenoid is made from 18 different types of fruits and vegetables. Now, what does carotenoid complex do? Carotenoid, if you take a can of 90 tablets, it's like 15 kilos of raw fresh fruits and vegetables, and different types. You're talking about your spinach, your tomatoes, your carrots, and all that. And what does this do for you? It boosts your body immunity by 37% in 20 days. We usually have an immunity of about 60%. So if you are at 37%, it comes to 97%. What does that mean for you? It means that the likelihood of cancer cells reproducing in your body are so minimal because your immunity is so high. And the benefit of it is that carotenoid complex can hold the cancer cells. It prevents them from spreading, and you can actually outlive the cancer. So you find that with carotenoid complex, you buy time, and you can actually, by the time the cancer hits, if you don't have the cancer and you take carotenoid complex today, it slows down its onset by 44%. So you might never get it. If you already have cancer, it will hold it so that now it doesn't progress to the next stage, and the next stage, which can be fatal. So carotenoid complex is absolutely a must where we are talking about cancer. Another product that is important is called salmon oil plus. Now, cancer, when you talk about cancer, it's basically oxidation of the cells. It's like rusting. It's like, in layman's language, it's like rusting. If you have a piece of metal and it rusts, what do? You apply some oil on it, and you apply some paint on it. Now the paint the oil that in our case is salmon fish, which goes to your cell again. We are talking about the tRNA. These are the oils that we are talking about. The paint in our case is carotenoid complex. It is in the color, which actually gets the paint in. So you're able to reverse oxidation that way. Now, what is salmon fish, salmon oil plus? It has all omega-8, all the 8 omega-3s. It's clinically tested, it's ultra pure. It has so many benefits in the body, from flexible joints, healthy eyes, thins blood, regulates hormonal imbalance, excellent for rheumatism, osteoarthritis, abdominal pains, weight loss, so many benefits.